This is a second and third stimulus check update. There's a new timeline of when you could receive the third $1,400 stimulus check because the House committees have officially finished and submitted their bills to be readied for a vote, and the House Majority Leader just updated the schedule of when that vote can happen. President Biden has extended the mortgage forbearance program by a few more months, and the IRS has just announced that they will not be sending out any more second stimulus checks. I'll let you know what the next steps are if you didn't receive it. Then I'll answer the questions you leave for me in the comments. I hope you're having a great day. I want to give a quick shout out to my wife Christine because today is our anniversary. We got married February 17th on the beaches of Bali. No family or friends were present because we actually sort of eloped. We didn't tell anyone we got married until after we got married. The only person there was our daughter Bella. So today, unfortunately, we don't have any plans because my wife is a nurse and she's working a 24-hour shift, but hopefully over the weekend we could do something fun. All right, let's get into stimulus. So the IRS has announced saying that all first and second stimulus checks have been issued. They're not going to send any more of those. And if you haven't received it yet, you're going to have to claim a recovery rebate credit. So they also said that the Get My Payment tool was last updated January 29th and will not be updated anymore for the first or second stimulus check. So whatever you see in the Get My Payment tool now is not going to change, and that's the only information you'll have access to. Now, if you haven't received the first, second, or any dependent money from your stimulus checks, I'll have a link to a video down in the description below giving a quick tutorial of how to start that process. Moving on. President Biden went to Wisconsin last night to talk about the stimulus package, basically promoting the idea that we need more stimulus and reaching out to the American people. Now let's talk about the stimulus package and when the vote is going to happen. So the House stimulus package is here, meaning that the House committees have officially submitted their bills and it's getting ready for a vote. I'm going to give more details on that, but first, here's a quick clip by Steve Mnuchin and Larry Kudlow talking about the upcoming stimulus package.
My next guest was a great partner with me in the White House. He led the negotiations on both COVID relief packages, which passed Congress. He joins me now for his first interview since leaving public service. Former Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin. Stephen, you're wonderful to do this. I appreciate it very, very much. And I just begin, you got this behemoth stimulus package. You negotiated. So I always thought the first one that we all did last March and April was the best of the lot. Just give us a quick sense of your thinking on this current stimulus.
Well, Larry, first let me say it's great to be here with you on your show, and congratulations on the show.
Thank you.
One of the things I'm most proud of is that we passed 4 different bills with huge bipartisan support. Two of the bills were 96-0 and 100-0, as you know. And it's a good thing we did that, because I think if we had not, we would have had a great depression, not a great recession, and an absolute double-digit big unemployment number. So clearly it was a time when Democrats and Republicans came together. I worked very closely with Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and Mitch and Kevin on those, and they worked. The last one we just did was a little over $900 billion. Again, it was led by a group of senators on both sides and members of the House, and I think it's worked. My preference would be that the president continues to do something on a bipartisan basis as opposed to using reconciliation.
Does it trouble you, just on these numbers, and of course you're right, it would be much better to have a more unified message, bipartisan message, as you worked it, but about $1 trillion of the prior relief packages hadn't even been spent yet. And so now we're jumping into $2 trillion, which is going to be a one-shot for the year. I don't get that. I think, does the public have trouble taking that in and realizing that? Does it look sloppy, or does nobody care anymore?
The way that Larry Kudlow asked that last question really bothered me. I don't know if it was his tone, his body language, or his word selection, but the way it came across to me was him saying, do these peasants really need more money? How much more money do these peasants really need? Maybe I'm being too critical, but I just think to answer that question, there are so many families struggling right now, just focused on trying to pay rent, feed their families, and get back to living a normal life, trying to find jobs. I don't think he has any idea of what people are actually going through in America. Let me know if I'm being too critical down in the comments below. Here's Steve Mnuchin's response, and then I'll get into timeline.
Well, Larry, as you know, this isn't the same as other financial recessions that were economically driven. This was driven by a health issue where we had to shut down the government. And as you said, the good news is, as a result of Project Warp Speed and having vaccines out, there is an end in sight. So I think traditional economic models don't really work here, and that's why we've done this in stages. So I felt all along we need to spend what we need to spend. But on the other hand, at some point, all this government debt does become problematic. So my preference would be to see a fifth bill and then a sixth bill if needed.
Steve Mnuchin showing a little more empathy than Larry Kudlow there, saying that it was unlike any other year. The government shutdown caused jobs to be lost, and therefore now the government is helping providing those jobs, or at least income, back. Let me know what you think about that down in the comments below. Next, let's talk about timeline. So the good news here is that the stimulus package is here from the House, meaning that all of the House committees have submitted their bills, and now it's going to be compiled into one bill. So if we look here, this is the reconciliation process, where at this stage here, where all of the committees have officially finished and submitted their bills to the Budget Committee, right here, and now it's going to be ready for a vote in the House floor, and then it's going to go to the Senate and then the President. So this part took a little over a week or so, and now you're wondering, all right, what's the next step? When is this going to happen? So the Senate Majority Leader for the House, Steny Hoyer, who's basically kind of Chuck Schumer's position in the Senate, he has the same position in the House, who's in charge of the schedule and floor votes and all that. So he just updated the floor schedule update for the week of February 22nd. Basically, what he said is that members are advised that the Majority Leader has announced the following change to the House legislative schedule for the week of February 22nd. Votes are no longer expected in the House on Monday, February 22nd. First votes of the week will occur on Tuesday, February 22nd at 6:30 p.m. The House is now expected to meet on Friday, February 26th. And members are further advised that as work continues on the American Rescue Plan, it is possible that votes could occur in the House over the weekend. So it seems that there may be a delay in terms of the vote for the stimulus package. We thought it was going to happen as soon as possible, but not necessarily the case. So Congress is out on another vacation this week. The House is actually not coming back on Monday, but they're coming back on the 23rd, this day right here. And supposedly they're not having the vote ready yet for that day, and it could be the 26th or over the weekend, the 27th and 28th. Now, I'm not really sure what is going on. So they submitted all the bills. Basically, the whole thing is written up, and now it's going to be compiled into one more section, which is going to be ready for the vote. Now, I guess it's maybe thousands of pages. It takes some time. It's going to take, I guess, 10 days. I'm not really sure why they would have to wait until the 26th or the weekend to have that vote. Hopefully it happens sooner, but that's the timeline as of now. It's a little later than I've said in the past. Hopefully they change that and we can have it sooner. Moving on, Joe Biden just gave homeowners an even longer break from mortgage payments, so he actually extended the mortgage forbearance program. So this is just for people who have federal house loans and not for people who have private house loans. So this is, he said on Tuesday that he tacked on another 3 months, allowing homeowners who signed up last year to keep their payments paused for as long as 18 months, meaning that interest is still accumulating, but no payments are paid. This is the reason why it's done federally, is because the federal government has this money compared to private lenders and private banks. And it's saying that if you haven't taken advantage of the forbearance yet, but need some breathing room with your mortgage, you now have time to sign up. So basically, and then it gives instructions of how to sign up. So if you are in a FHA home or Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac and you're renting, or if you're owning the house, then you could take advantage of this. Or if you're renting from some landlord who has this, then you could actually ask your landlord to take advantage of this and maybe give you a break from rent or help you out if you're behind on rent a bit. Next, I'm going to answer the questions you leave for me in the comments. Gianna Logan asks, If it's $1,400 for adults, how much is it for children? So for the third stimulus check, $1,400 for adults, $1,400 for children, $1,400 for adult dependents, $1,400 all around. Heather Hampton asks, my father passed away October 2020 from COVID. Do you know what the application process will be like for FEMA reimbursement for family members passing? First, I'm really sorry for the passing of your father. I'm sure that was really difficult. But in terms of the FEMA reimbursement, so he does qualify to get the FEMA reimbursement of up to $7,000 for funeral costs. At this point, last I've heard is that they're setting up a hotline which is going to give more information on it. We don't know yet of what the application process is, but as soon as I find out, I'll definitely let you know. Ann Peterson asks, if I am in default on my student loan, will they also take my stimulus for my dependent children? Unfortunately, yes. So if you are in default on your student loan, if you owe any other government debts like money for veteran affairs, or a bunch of other things. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But unfortunately, the third stimulus check can be garnished to be used to pay that federal debt that you owe. Mark Dorsey asks, if the Senate comes back February 23rd and they agree with everything, how much longer before the stimulus reaches the public's pockets? So to go back to the calendar, I'll pull it up really quick. If they come to an agreement by chance, if they vote on it the 23rd, the Senate has to have a vote on it, which they could make some changes to the bill, but since it's all Democrats anyway, they could just pass it as is. And hopefully the beginning of March is when we'll see stimulus checks. It all depends on the Senate and when this House votes. Next question. Wendeline Ellis asks, when claiming rebate recovery for the first stimulus for my 2 adult dependents, do I claim the full stimulus, $1,200 each, or what the child dependents receive, $500 each? So for the first stimulus check, it was $1,200 and then $500 for each child dependent. Unfortunately, there's no adult dependents that are going to be eligible for the past stimulus checks. That's only going to be for the third stimulus check. So there's no retroactive adult dependent pay, unfortunately. That is all the stimulus news I have for you today. To brighten your day a bit and hopefully put a smile on your face, here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is a tip of the day. I want to tell you one of my favorite secrets. Adults don't know everything. And also, so I don't too. I know I'm really smart, but I don't really know as much things. You don't know as much things, but we're all gonna learn. I promise. If you keep on working every day, I can. And we all can, and we can all be really smart. And we can all be really smart. Like being a teacher or something. And I help kids be smart. Come, let's read.
And if you've ever wanted to learn the basics of investing, even if you don't have any money now to invest, but just have the knowledge in your mind so when the time comes, you're able to take advantage of it, click this video over here. I go over some basic investment strategies of how to turn $100 into $10,000. So click that video now if you want to learn more about that, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.